Leon, congratulations. Thank you. Great accomplishments. Amazing career here you had. Again, Leon began at Worthington Community College. He had an outstanding junior college career. He won a national championship there. I'm sure you had several choices to go to play, to continue on and compete at the four-year level. But how did you get to Southwest? I know you had some connections here, but kind of a great story how you got here.
Well, my biggest concern was coming up here to follow my brother Kenny. He wrestled up here, and it was close for home for my family members to come, and it was only an hour from home, so we just decided to come up here and give it a shot.
Gave it a shot, no question. Your first season, as you mentioned, outstanding year. You were kind of rolling along there, possibly winning a national championship, maybe thinking that. You suffered an injury. How difficult was that to deal with? I know you tried to fight through it, but how did that help maybe fuel you to get for your senior year? But I mean, you had a chance probably to win a national title as a junior as well. I mean, that's just our opinion. Let's go with that.
I did beat the national champion that year, that woman. But acts that happens. I mean, injuries happen, and you just go on with it. And I always thought to myself, well, I got one more year to prove myself, and came back and did as good as I could do.
Yeah, you look at your senior year. Was there something that maybe clicked that season that thought maybe I can do this if I can stay healthy, that I can win this national championship this year? Were there certain guys that maybe you beat during the year, or was it just that, coming back from that injury that you thought, hey, I can win this thing?
Not really, because I had to wrestle that kid that won it last year, or my junior year, and he pinned me. And I thought, well, maybe I can't win it again. So I just went out there and did the best I could, and he was seeded 2 in the nationals. I was 3, but he blew his knee out in the semis, so never got a rematch with him.
Look, kind of karma how that works out. Yeah, well, you could have maybe got him as a junior.
But it'd been fun to beat him again.
Yeah, as I bet. It's one thing, how things, a funny story Leon told me about when he got hurt late in January, that you could get a medical red shirt, but the rule was that the coaches had to vote from the conference or the district if they would allow a red shirt. And unfortunately, I think only one school voted to give you a red shirt, and that might have been Coach Sterner. I wonder how that worked out.
All the other coaches voted no. They wanted me out of the program.
Kind of crazy how that is. You go to nationals in Butte, Montana. As you mentioned, you weren't the top seed, but what was it like that weekend just to compete? Coach Sterner, John was a national champ a few years earlier. So he probably had some experience for you as well. But what was that whole couple of days like, just to keep winning and the success you had that weekend to get to the national title match?
Well, I just thought to myself that this is my last time I'm going to be wrestling, so I went out there and did the best I could and ended up number 1.
Yeah, and even the national championship match almost seemed easy. I think you won by fall, but what's that like to be at top of the world, so to speak, when you win that thing?
Oh, it's very, very nice. It's a great honor, and it's being a senior like that, going out on top. You want that to be your top,
and that's the way to end it. One of those things we've talked throughout the weeks leading up to this, Leon, is the teammates that you had. You couldn't get there without the work in the room and those type of things. Guys like Randy Dorn, who you wrestled with, he was a high school teammate, and your roommates and teammates, Scott Snowball, all those guys. Talk about how much it was to compete, maybe even tougher in the room to get ready for those matches, and just the teammates, the bonds that you guys had.
Well, it's just like a family in there. I mean, everybody, we got along, we went partying after the matches. It was just an honor being in the room with them, and in your room is where you become good wrestlers. With good people in there, that good practice partners, and I had to wrestle John Sterner. That Mike always asked me, he goes, Bullerman, have you wrestled my son yet? And he was 200 and I was 150. I hated wrestling him because we always fought and all that, but it worked out.
Yeah, and speaking of those, and Mike Sterner is a Hall of Fame coach at Southwest and NEI, and just the influence that he had with you and this program, and John as well, but really mean a lot to Mustang Wrestling and what they did for your career, and even now to just see the commitment that you have with them is great, and they really established a lot for you as a wrestler.
Well, they treated everybody equally. I mean, Mike didn't have a favorite. He just kept on egging you on every practice, and you would have a bad day, he'd come up to you and helped you out, and just never got down on you. And Mike and John was the same way. He just kept on you during practice, and just came together.
Yep, and you also not only won as individual, but your team had great success as well. And I suppose, you know, it's sometimes get lost. You know, it's an individual sport, but the team is huge. I'm sure just every bout, every class had to come together and to finish very high in the national championships as well, to show the depth and the quality of your teammates.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we had a wrestling house that we all lived together, and we just spent a lot of time together, and we enjoyed it.
Both on the mat and off as well. I like that.
More off.
More off, exactly. Well, Leon, I want to say congratulations. An unbelievable career. Again, I think I'm being biased, but the way I've heard and listened and read a lot of things, could have been a two-time champion here, but unfortunately an injury, but you came back and won the national title, and an amazing career, and congratulations, and welcome to the SMSU Athletics Hall of Honor. You bet.